Research project. The research project cannot be considered complete unless its results are effectively communicated to the users and consumers. So, therefore, communication of the research finding is one of the essential and final steps of the research process. So it's not. It is that communication of the research project not only with the other researchers who may build upon it to further advance the study, and even non-researchers also they can get benefited from our research. They can use it and they can utilize these findings in the clinical practice and etymologically that word communio relates to participation and sharing. So whatever the research results we have acquired and whatever the outcome we have reached, unless it's communicated, it won't be effective and it will not be fulfilled. Why communicate research studies? So it will be essential for utilization and it allows other researchers they can critique the merits and demerits of our research study and wherever we are lagging so that we can improve our thing, and it will be acting as a stimulate others to replicate or develop similar studies by changing the setting or additional sample they can add it, and even they can change the methodology and we can recommend our study to replicate, and it can be as a recognition advancement, and by communicating by getting the positive feedback it will be giving a boost up, and even we can get a financial aid for our research study. Ways to communicate research results. So no research project is complete until the final report has been written. So unless we are completing our research, we can't communicate it. So this communication of the research finding is carried out through the dissemination of the empirical research evidences generated through research study, and so it will be once it's completed we will call it as a thesis or dissertation, and even the communication can be done at the professional conferences, and even we can give an abstract and we can present a paper, and even the whole research we can formulate present in a form of poster or in some conference or seminar, and even we can publish in a journal article because it will be a permanent one, and even we can publish our research report in our newsletters, some foundation report, and even some organization or agencies, and through TV or radio, magazines, and through directly to the patients. Findings of the study. So here the findings of the study or the presentation of the results in the form of data or facts. So here we have to follow certain criteria. So first we have to select proper channel for communicating. So here the channel when the researcher is selecting whether it's suitable and appropriate channel to disseminate our research findings, such as student related out like thesis or dissertation, and findings. The reporting of the data is an objective process and no opinions. And the findings are written in the past tense. So always we will write the findings in a past tense because the findings we will be writing after getting the data analysis. So here we will include the description of the study sample and whether there are limitation we will mention whether there is any dropout of the sample during the study. We will do the descriptive statistics, always used an inferential statistics. Why we are doing the inferential statistics in order to test our hypothesis whether it's proved or not. And the findings of the study, the presentation, even we can do it in a form of narration. So here the findings should be clearly mentioned, concisely present in the form of test. So attention should be given to the data, and so as a vague presentation, if you are giving, the people will not be having the patience to read the entire thing. So better we can go for a pictorial form. The statistical test, by giving the tables we can explain it, the test results, degree of freedom and probability values in two-dimensional places. And in qualitative research, so the qualitative research mainly we will do in a form of survey or observation or an interview, so better we can present it in a form of narration or a story. And the findings of the study in a form of table, so the people they can easily understood, and the information in the given in the table should be always discussed, and every table we should give the title, and whenever we are giving the title, all the titles should have a number, and our title should be clear, concise, and it should contain the variables. And all the data, whatever the thing we are entering, should have the same number of decimal places, decimal points. And figures, when we are using, even the figures should have a table, and you should have a heading. All the figures should have a heading, and the figures we can present in a form of pie chart and a bar diagram like that. Coming to the discussion of findings, so here the researcher has to explain the meaning of the information in easily understood terms, that is simple word or the meaning. And we have always we should discuss how reliability and validity were maintained throughout the study, and even we have to discuss the weakest links and discuss the results in terms of whether they were significant or not significant. It also doesn't matter, but significant but opposite to that predicted, and the mixed results, whether the results were expected or unexpected. And even we can compare all the results, whatever the results we have obtained, we can compare the results with the previous study already which has been done in the same area. And we should discuss the statistical and clinical significance. Coming to the conclusion, the research attempts to show that knowledge has been gained by the study, and also tries to recognize, generalize the knowledge, considering always don't fail to address was the study problem answer, because why we are doing the research study, in order to find the answer for the research question, and in order to find the facts and the relationship between the facts. So always make sure the outcome of the study, we need to get the answer for the research problem. And we might have heard some objective during the initial part of our study. Okay, that is the purpose. So make sure that whatever the purpose we had at the initial part, whether the outcome of the study met the initial purpose. And we should also see that the research hypothesis is supported and the theoretical framework is supported. Coming to the recommendations, so the further recommendation we can give logical extension of the study. So you can recommend, we can recommend to the people can adapt the same research by increase the sample size. They can change the setting. They can adapt different part of that. The tools they can use, different tools they can use even, and even the qualitative or quantitative study they can repeat with the form of a mixed study. So replication of the study may be a different sampling or setting, and if these are not done, implementation of research are seriously hampered. So always mention the study limitation, the sample instrument and control of variables, and change in methodology. And understanding the audience. So always, whenever you are communicating a research, from which organization levels the audience members come. So in case if you are communicating a research study in front of a conference, so make sure whether you are going to present in front of the students or faculty or PhD scholar. So how busy are these individuals like to be, how familiar they are, whatever the prerequisite of knowledge, and what aspect of the project they are mostly to be interested. And we should also make sure that they have any background of knowledge and training on the technical complexities and the terminology of the research. And the components of the written report in a form of transmitter letter, title page, table of content, executive summary, and the body of the report. So, what is executive summary? It's a carefully distilled synopsis of the entire report. So, the entire report will be written in a concise form. It is called the synopsis. So, it's a starting point, outline the major study objective, and list all the findings related to each objective. And whenever we are preparing effective written reports, make sure it is simple. We are following the simple technique. So what it meant actually is short, interesting, methodological, and it should be precise, lucid, error-free. So coming to the graphical illustration. So if you are presenting in the graphical illustration, the people those are reading the research report findings, and even the students, they will be getting more interest, and it will be more attractive and give attention of the people those are reading the research report. So mainly we used to present in the form of four ways, that is pie chart, line chart, stratum chart, and bar chart. So this is the pie chart. So even the statistics of various areas, and we can give it in the form of pie chart. The age, the classification of age, and the type of family, etc. We can give it in the form of pie chart. And in the line chart. So certain variables we can give it in the form of line chart if you're assessing the reading of the patients, so that we can give it in the form of line chart. And the stratum chart, the percentage of anything can be shared in the form of stratum chart. And the bar chart. So the bar chart we can give in the form of the gender difference, the occupation, and the occupation, religion, education, income, all the things we can give it in the form of bar chart. So coming to the oral presentation. So oral report are another popular method and useful method for the dissemination of knowledge among the users. So the oral presentation are generally written and presented in a group of professionals at a conferences. So that will be give more advantage, and oral presentation provides opportunity to present the recent findings, and immediately after our research completion we can present the oral presentation, and know, and before presenting the before doing the oral presentation, the researcher has to keep certain points in the mind to succeed in the oral presentation. First of all, she or he should know the audience to whom she is going to present. So know who will be in the audience, understand their background and information, that they have the previous knowledge, and anticipate the questions, what are the questions they may expect, and choose the main points of the study to be covered during the presentation, and while being careful not to select too many points. And however, there is a lack of permanent records of the oral presentation. Therefore, to overcome this problem, oral reports must be supplemented with the availability of written reports of the oral presentation in advance in the form of conference abstract publication. So oral reports are presented in the professional conferences where researcher is given about minimum 15 to maximum 30 minutes to present the finding with few minutes for discussion. So while doing the work presentation, the researcher should have a good use of visual aids like flip chart or some transparencies, or even a slide, so to improve the presentation clarity and maintain audience interest. The words so keep slides for keywords, so bullets and color to highlight the key points, so that what about the findings, and that we can highlight the thing and the level of significance value you can highlight and break up the information to make a series of ideas on each slide. Thank you.